Hello, hello. All right, another video on how my thinking leads to eating. Heather, I was doing so good and now I'm regressing. Often I see this. People, they start a new plan, they do something, they make some seeming progress, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, old habits come back. Nighttime eating comes back, binge eating comes back. And maybe they didn't have it for a few weeks or a few months. Maybe they were doing, quote unquote, really well. And a client asked me a great question. She said, Heather, could this be my lower brain? And I'm like, yes, you're getting it 100%. Whenever you think you are regressing, you're not. Your prefrontal cortex has not forgotten all the lessons you've learned. It's not like you all of a sudden are transported back into time to when you were 5 years younger or 2 years younger when you didn't know what you know. That doesn't happen. What does happen, and I want you to think about it like this, your prefrontal cortex is the one you want running the ship, right? It's there, it's in charge, it's making good executive decisions, it's thinking through, it's being analytical, it's problem solving, it's helping you make long-term future plans. It's really a very helpful part of your thinking because it is, aware of long-term outcomes. Then all of a sudden, you have an argument with somebody, you have a stressful day at work, boom, the lower brain comes in and takes over, and its only thing that it knows to do is everything it's done before. It doesn't think. It's not future planning. It's not trying to help you achieve any goals. None of that. It just knows you're in immediate discomfort. You had an argument with your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, kid, whatever. You and your boss don't see eye to eye on a project. You're feeling insecure. You're feeling bored. You're feeling resentful, frustrated, fill in the blank. And again, you may not even realize you're feeling any of these things. You might just be overthinking the day or sitting in the quiet of your home and all these ideas are going through your head, or you get the thought, I need to lose weight fast, and your brain goes into hyperdrive to fix the problem. We've talked about all this in the previous videos, right? So then your lower brain kicks in and it goes back to what it's always done. Uh-oh, she's feeling or he's feeling blank. Let's go eat the pack of Oreos. It's not that you have regressed. Your prefrontal cortex has not gone away. It's just not actively involved in this conversation. It's not the one at the helm in that moment. Your lower brain is, and all your lower brain has is like a few tricks up its sleeve. It knows when you're feeling a certain thing. It knows when you're feeling that stress and anxiety and discomfort. And for you, because again, you're here, and more than likely people who are here have always kind of relied on food to deal with that. It's not that you don't now have the ability to do all the other things you've been doing. It just means that for a moment, your lower brain stepped in and took over. That's it. And the sooner you can see that, and you can be like hearing it whispering in your ear, hey, let's go have the Oreos because you had a really rough day at work. And it's really, you've earned it. You do a lot. If you have the Oreos today, we'll get back to it tomorrow. You hear that in your job, all your job is say, there's my lower brain again, trying to take over, trying to run the show. I'm going to choose to say no to that. I hear what you're saying, lower brain. You believe if I eat the Oreos, I will feel better. My stress from work will go away. My relationship with my husband, kiddo, whoever will be fixed. But you and I both know that's not true. That's so not true, because every time I down all the Oreos, not only do I still have the problem, I still have the argument, I still have the discomfort, but now I feel super bad later because it's not in line with my long-term goals, and I have now probably eaten way more than I want. I'm in physical discomfort, and that could have all been avoided, right? So the question is, Heather, am I regressing? Have I somehow lost everything I've learned? No. There's two different things going on inside, right? We've talked about that. You have your thinking brain, which I'm using right now to communicate with you. I'm actually having to think about what I'm going to say, verbally communicate it, thinking brain. But if I'm sitting on the couch, overthinking my day, worrying about something I think I did wrong, or that might be going wrong, or wondering about my future, What if I didn't do this for the kids? What if this didn't if I go down that road inside my own head by myself, very easy for my lower brain to take over. Very easy for me to need to feel comforted because I'm feeling discomfort, right? So none of my knowledge disappeared. I just for a moment allowed somebody else to take over at the helm. So I hope this helps. I hope this idea helps, because I do see people really struggling with that. It's almost like it's a character thing. Like, oh, I was doing so well, 2 or 3 weeks of da-da-da-da-da. And then boom, I did my old behavior. Yes, you're going to. like that. That's my whole point of these videos. Like, it doesn't go away. It might get quiet for a little bit. You might give it something, your higher brain, something to focus on. You might be just in a particular pattern in that time frame where nothing really gets you upset. I had a client, just to give this as an example, for 2 months, she went from daily binging to no binging. We had talked about all this higher brain, lower brain. She was dismissing her urges. And then something really massive happened with her job. And it brought up all her scarcity. It brought up all of her worry about her professional job. She was a single woman supporting herself. She had worked very hard to get where she was. And a lot of the things that she feels are very important to her were being threatened. And then all of a sudden, guess what? Nighttime eating came back. The desire to binge came back. And her first question to me is, uh-oh, Heather, have I just forgotten everything I learned? Like, how can that happen? I'm like, no, your lower brain has taken over because at night you were fixating on this worry about the job. And that's a really sensitive area for you. And so we talked about some strategies that could help her get out of the kitchen at night, that would help her quiet that lower brain down. But you don't forget anything. It's not like you regress to anything else. You just have stepped aside, let somebody else come in. Kind of like having a substitute teacher come into your classroom. Yes, they're doing their best, but it's not the same as the original teacher, right? But that person hasn't disappeared. They're still there. They're just not in the classroom in that moment. It's the same concept. So I hope this idea helps. Every time you see yourself getting back into your old pattern of behavior, it's not because you don't know better. It's not because you've lost something. You've regressed to your old self. It's literally like that person checked out and now somebody else checked in, and that somebody was your lower brain. So I hope this idea really does resonate. I am excited to be putting these videos together for you. Please like and subscribe and share the videos with others, because I think it would really help people to hear this information. All right, you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.